Curious title: What a Caterpillar Excavator teaches you about digging up big ideas from small starts. Picture a single hydraulic cylinder hidden beneath a layer of grease and steel, lifting a ton of earth as if it were nothing. The motion is smooth, controlled, and almost graceful. That quiet, powerful work, force turned into useful motion, is what a Caterpillar hydraulic excavator does every day. If you are starting from almost nothing, unemployed, underemployed, or living on social support, you can borrow the same engineering and design thinking to dig up ideas that move markets. This training story begins with that image. Part 1: Foundations, and the first 3 idea, principles, purpose, and audience. This training story is written for entrepreneurs getting started, people who are unemployed or underemployed looking to create extra income, individuals on Social Security who want practical, low-risk ways to ideate products or services. We will use Caterpillar hydraulic excavators as the primary example. Not so you can build heavy machinery, but so you can borrow the thinking behind machines that turn raw power into precise, reliable work, convert available force into useful outcomes, design for durability and maintainability, make performance simple to understand and trust, evolve products, so they remain useful through long life cycles. What a Caterpillar hydraulic excavator is. A hydraulic excavator is a heavy construction machine that uses hydraulic fluid, pumps, and cylinders to move arms, booms, and buckets. Caterpillar, often known simply as the brand that many workers call by a single name, produces excavators in many sizes for tasks, ranging from digging a foundation to removing a fallen tree. Core components include an engine or motor, hydraulic pumps, control valves, an operator cab, a boom and arm assembly, a bucket or attachment, tracks or wheels, and an undercarriage. The machine transforms engine power into highly controllable digging and lifting movements. Operators value excavators for strength, precision, and the ability to attach different tools for different jobs. Why hydraulic excavators matter for idea generation. Excavators are useful metaphors. They show how layered systems, powertrain, hydraulics, controls, attachments, combine to deliver a dependable outcome. For an aspiring entrepreneur, the excavator model suggests several transferable lessons. Build a strong, reliable core that does the heavy lifting. Make servicing and maintenance easy, so customers keep using your product. Offer modular attachments so one machine serves many needs. Design for long life cycles and incremental upgrades rather than throwaway solutions. How Caterpillar excavators compare with other companies and approaches. Comparing Caterpillar with peers and alternative strategies helps make lessons concrete. Versus smaller generic brands. Some manufacturers produce lower-cost machines with fewer features and weaker service networks. These products may be cheaper upfront, but cost more over time through downtime and part scarcity. Lesson: total cost of ownership matters more than initial price for customers who depend on reliability. Versus specialized, niche manufacturers. Some firms build machines tailored to a narrow job, like compact excavators specialized for indoor demolition. These niche machines excel in specific environments, but lack Caterpillar's broad ecosystem of attachments and global parts networks. Lesson: focus and specialization can win where Caterpillar's breadth is unnecessary, but general-purpose reliability has wide appeal. Versus digital-only disruption in other industries. Startups often try to disrupt by building slick software layers without owning the physical service core. Excavators show the value of engineering the mechanical core first, then layering convenience features, telematics, monitoring, and financing on top. Lesson: a stable physical core lets you add a customer-facing digital features that actually matter. The 8 idea generation principles inspired by Caterpillar hydraulic excavators. Here are the 8 principles you will learn across all parts of this story. In this first part, we will explore the first 3 principles in depth. Principle 1. Build a strong, durable core that performs the heavy lifting. Principle 2. Design for maintainability and low downtime, make service simple and accessible. Principle 3. Offer modularity through attachments and options so one platform serves many jobs. Principle 4. Measure meaningful performance, not vanity metrics. Principle 5. Optimize for total cost of ownership rather than sticker price. Principle 6. Protect user trust with predictable life cycles and upgrade paths. Principle 7. Translate engineering complexity into simple promises customers understand. Principle 8. Use incremental evolution and backward compatibility to protect users' investments. In this first part, we cover Principle 1, Principle 2, and Principle 3. Each principle includes an explanation, common mistakes companies make, and practical lessons you can use even with very limited resources. Principle 1. Build a strong, durable core that performs the heavy lifting explanation. At the heart of every excavator is the power and hydraulic system that converts fuel or electrical energy into controlled force. Caterpillar focuses on robust engines, reliable hydraulic pumps, and strong structural frames. In product thinking, the core is whatever delivers the main promise. For an excavator, that promise is reliable digging and lifting under varied conditions. For a micro business, the core might be accurate bookkeeping, timely deliveries, dependable food safety, or quality repairs. Wool core cannot be masked by branding or bright apps. Why this matters for small founders and makers. When resources are scarce, investing in a dependable core yields outsized returns. Customers tolerate modest packaging or primitive marketing if the job is consistently done well. Conversely, flashy presentation with poor execution creates churn and reputation damage. 3 common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Prioritizing surface features over core performance. Startups sometimes pour energy into logos, websites, and aesthetics while neglecting the actual thing customers buy. A beautiful storefront means little if orders are late or wrong. Mistake 2. Copying visible cues from successful competitors without matching core capability. A competitor may attract attention with a polished app. Replicating the app without the operation or backbone leads to embarrassing failures when demand rises. Mistake 3. Building to impress rather than to endure. Designing products for short-term appeal or fashionability sacrifices the durability customers need. When a core component fails repeatedly, fixes cost more than designing for longevity up front. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Define the one central job your product or service must do reliably. Write one sentence. The promise your core must keep. Examples. We provide accurate weekly payroll for local micro businesses. Or we deliver groceries before lunchtime within our delivery radius. That sentence should guide every design choice. Lesson 2. Invest first in the components and processes that directly affect that promise. For a mechanic, that means tools and quality parts. For a baker, reliable ovens and consistent recipes. For a cleaner, durable supplies and a tested checklist. Spend scarce resources on what matters most to deliver the core job. Lesson 3. Test under real conditions. Like an excavator that must handle mud, rock, and rain, your idea must be tested where it will actually operate. Simulate common stressors and make sure the core still works. How to apply Principle 1 with minimal capital. Start small and focus on repeatability. Do fewer orders exceptionally well rather than many orders poorly. Use entry-level but dependable components. A used, well-serviced engine is often better than a flashy new one that breaks. Create simple acceptance tests customers care about. If you promise on-time delivery, measure it. If you promise accuracy, verify with a checklist. Comparison with other approaches versus marketing-led launches. Companies that emphasize launch buzz can get initial customers but often cannot keep them. Durability-first approaches may grow slower initially but create lasting referrals. Versus lowest-cost strategies, competing on lowest price often means skimping on core components. For customers who value uptime, a slightly higher upfront cost buys reliability that saves money and worry over time. Short vignette. From a shaky start to a dependable repair stall, a young mechanic opened mobile repair service with a flashy van wrap and a social media campaign. Early bookings surged, but part shortages and rushed fixes led to complaints. He then reallocated funds to standardizing a parts kit, building relationships with 2 suppliers, and creating a simple service checklist. Social buzz fell, but word of mouth grew as customers praised reliable fixes. Business stabilized and margins improved. Principle 2. Designed for maintainability and low downtime, make service simple and accessible. Explanation. Caterpillar designs excavators so that daily checks, filter changes, and common repairs are straightforward. Parts are accessible, service intervals are predictable, and dealerships provide trained technicians and spare parts. For customers who rely on heavy equipment, downtime is expensive. Designing for maintainability reduces downtime and total cost of ownership. Why this matters for entrepreneurs and small operators. Your customers will forgive complexity only if they can fix problems quickly or if service is easy to obtain. Designing for maintainability can mean the difference between a recurring customer and a lost one. 3 common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Building products that are hard to service. If small repairs require specialized tools, rare parts, or expert-only procedures, customers suffer long outages and high repair bills. Mistake 2. Ignoring simple preventive maintenance. Skipping preventive routines increases the chance of catastrophic failure. Many business owners lose revenue waiting for repair rather than scheduling brief preventive checks. Mistake 3. Having no clear service network or plan. When something goes wrong, customers want predictable help. If they must search for help each time, frustration grows and trust erodes. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Make common maintenance tasks obvious and quick. Provide short guides, checklists, or short videos showing routine tasks. Even simple images with captions reduce mistakes. Lesson 2. Standardize parts and supplies where possible. Use common screws, bolts, and filters that are easy to source locally. Standardization shortens repair times and lowers cost. Lesson 3. Build a simple service promise. Offer a clear statement like, "We will respond within a business day to support calls," or "Replacement parts delivered within 3 business days." Keep the promise narrow and achievable. How to apply Principle Drop too cheaply. Document 3 daily or weekly checks that prevent the most common failures and teach them to anyone who uses the product. Maintain a small inventory of the most common spare parts or a list of local substitutes. Create a simple contact card and process for emergency help that customers can access quickly. Comparison with other companies versus disposable consumer goods. Many consumer products are designed to be replaced, not repaired. For mission-critical tools and services, repairability and ease of maintenance are strong selling points. Versus vertically integrated heavy equipment makers, large firms maintain global parts networks. Small operators can copy the spirit by building local networks and standardized spare kits. Short vignette: a delivery bike that stayed on the road. A neighborhood delivery service initially used low-quality tires and complex brakes that needed special tools. Frequent flats took riders off the road. The owner standardized on a rugged tire model with easy-to-find inner tubes and trained riders to perform quick tire changes. Downtime plunged, and deliveries became more reliable. Principle 3. Offer modularity through attachments and options, so one platform serves many jobs. Explanation: excavators shine because a single base machine can accept dozens of attachments, buckets, breakers, grapples, augers, turning it from a digging tool into a demolition unit or a piling machine. This modularity increases utility, reduces the need to buy multiple machines, and appeals to customers who want flexibility. The broader lesson is to design platforms that accept modular add-ons so customers can adapt the product to multiple needs. Why this matters for small ventures: creating a core offering with optional add-ons increases revenue potential while keeping initial complexity low. Customers appreciate the ability to scale capability without replacing the whole system. 3 common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Selling only rigid, single-purpose solutions. Products that do only one thing force customers to buy multiples or search for alternatives. This reduces lifetime value and customer stickiness. Mistake 2. Designing incompatible or proprietary attachments. If add-ons require specialized interfaces or proprietary parts, customers face high switching costs and maintenance headaches. Mistake 3. Charging confusing fees for options. Complicated pricing for attachments or add-ons confuses buyers and reduces uptake. Customers prefer clear, modular pricing. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Design a clear base product with a defined set of optional add-ons. Make the base product useful on its own, and then offer a small set of well-chosen options that extend capabilities. Lesson 2. Use standard interfaces where possible. Design attachments or add-ons to use common connectors or interoperable standards. This reduces cost and increases the potential market. Lesson 3. Explain the business case for each add-on. Help customers see when an add-on pays for itself. For example, this attachment reduces setup time by half, so it pays back in 4 similar jobs. How to apply Principle 3 with little capital. Start with a single versatile core offering and pilot 1 or 2 add-ons with early customers. Use local craftsmen or simple adapters rather than fully proprietary fittings to prototype attachments. Offer short-term rental or trial of add-ons so customers can test value before buying. Comparison with other strategies versus single-use gadgets. Many products are built to solve one narrow problem. Platform thinking, a useful base plus extensions, increases customer lifetime value and makes upgrades natural. Versus fully integrated luxury solutions. High-end integrated systems can provide smooth experience, but lock customers into vendor ecosystems. Modular designs balance flexibility with usable integration. Short vignette. A small front loader that became multi-purpose. A small equipment rental business bought a compact loader and added a few low-cost attachments, a pallet fork, a brush cutter, and a small auger, using common mounting points. The machine was suddenly useful to landscapers, farmers, and builders. Rental days increased and equipment utilization improved. Short exercises you can do today. Exercise 1. Identify your product's core job. Write one sentence. What is the heavy lifting your product must do reliably? Exercise 2. List 3 maintenance tasks. Wrote 3 simple checks a user could perform to prevent the most common failure. Share them as a one-page cheat sheet. Exercise 3. Brainstorm 2 add-ons. Name 2 low-cost attachments or options that would make your product useful to new customer segments. Conclusion of Part 1. Caterpillar hydraulic excavators are powerful because they concentrate dependable force in a maintainable, modular, and serviceable platform. For people launching ideas with limited capital, the lessons are clear. Invest in a strong core, design for low downtime, and create modular options that expand usefulness. These moves make your offering more dependable, more promotable, and more likely to generate recurring revenue. If this Part 1 helped you, subscribe to my YouTube channel for Parts 2 and 3. Those parts we will cover measurement and value, lifecycle thinking and upgrades, pricing for total cost of ownership, and a workbook that helps you plan a pilot. Hit subscribe to get the templates and short scripts you can use tomorrow. Part 2. Resilience, Measurement, and Cost. Turning heavy-duty thinking into small-scale advantage. Imagine a job site where a broken hydraulic line stops work for the day. Machines idle, crews wait, contracts creep toward late penalties. Now imagine a job site where the operator simply swaps in a spare hose, performs a quick check, and the machine is back digging. The difference is resilience designed into the system. In this part, we explore the next 3 Caterpillar-inspired ideas you can copy. Build purposeful redundancy, measure the things that matter, and think in terms of total cost of ownership rather than cheap sticker prices. These principles protect reputation, preserve cash, and let small operations appear much bigger and more reliable than they are. Who this part is for? This section continues the training for entrepreneurs building practical services, people who are unemployed or underemployed and want dependable side income, individuals on social support seeking low-risk, scalable ways to earn. We assume you grasped Part 1. Strong core, maintainability, and modularity. Now we add the resilience and economics that let a small venture survive shocks and grow. Overview of the 3 principles covered here. Principle 4. Design redundancy and contingency so one failure does not stop the job. Principle 5. Measure a few meaningful performance indicators and close the feedback loops. Principle 6. Optimize for total cost of ownership rather than the lowest purchase price. Each principle below includes an explanation, 3 common mistakes companies make, practical lessons, low-cost application steps, comparisons with other approaches, and a short vignette or exercise. Principle 4. Design redundancy and contingency, so one failure does not stop the job. Explanation: Caterpillar designs machines and service networks to tolerate component failures and site disruptions. That means having spare parts, alternate suppliers, trained technicians, and simple fallback procedures. Redundancy is not wasteful duplication. It is a deliberate choice to protect work continuity. For a small provider, redundancy can be social and tactical. Spare hoses and filters, a second trusted repair contact, or an alternative workflow that keeps customers served during a blockage. Why redundancy matters for small operators. When you are few and your customers depend on you, a single missed promise can erase trust. Redundancy preserves reputation. It also turns unpredictable days into manageable ones, letting you keep cash flow and referrals steady. 3 common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. treating redundancy as unaffordable luxury. Many small teams assume backups are for large firms. They skip basic contingency planning until a failure forces an expensive fix. Mistake 2. Creating identical backups that fail the same way. A second supplier in the same market that is shut by the same disruption is no backup at all. Redundancy must diversify risk. Mistake 3. Forgetting to practice fallback plans. A backup that exists on paper but never gets used is unreliable. Teams must rehearse contingencies so responses are calm and quick. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Find your single points of failure. List the person, part, or supplier that would halt operations if it disappeared. Make that list short and concrete. Lesson 2. Use low-cost, diverse backups. Backups do not need to be expensive. A small stock of critical consumables, a second local supplier with different logistics, or a neighbor with a truck can be enough. Lesson 3. Document and rehearse fallbacks. Write simple instructions for what to do when X fails. Run a quick drill now and then so the team knows how to act. How to apply a principle for cheaply. Step 1. Make a short failure map. Write 3 critical items and, beside each, 1 low-cost backup. For example, critical hose, spare in toolbox, alternate supplier, nearby repair shop. Step 2. Build informal partnership agreements. Talk to local mechanics, equipment rentals, or transporters. Offer small reciprocal arrangements. Cover for each other in emergencies. Step 3. Practice one contingency quarterly. Run a simulated failure and time how long it takes to restore function. Adjust your plan and improve. Comparison with other approaches versus relying on market abundance. Some models depend on many anonymous suppliers or contractors showing up when needed. That statistical approach works at scale but is fragile at small scale. A few thoughtful, diverse backups are more reliable for a micro-enterprise. Versus buying insurance only. Insurance compensates after loss, but reputational damage is immediate. Redundancy prevents failures and preserves customer trust, which is often more valuable than cash replacement. Short vignette. A small earthworks crew that stayed on schedule. A 2-person excavation team faced a broken hydraulic hose midday. They had a simple contingency kit, a spare hose, clamps, and a contact at a nearby repair shop. The operator completed a quick swap, tested the system, and resumed work within an hour. A client never knew. The team's small investment in redundancy saved a day of labor and a potential dispute. Principle 5. Measure a few meaningful performance indicators and close the feedback loop's explanation. Caterpillar and professional operators track uptime, fuel efficiency, maintenance intervals, and attachment utilization. But they focus on metrics that predict job continuity and cost, not every possible number. For a small business, disciplined measurement turns vague feelings into targeted action. You learn which repairs steal time, which sites cause delays, and which customers require special handling. Data becomes a practical tool for fixing the right thing. Why focused measurement matters for early-stage ventures. When effort is limited, guessing is costly. Small, rapid measurements uncover the real bottlenecks and let you prioritize changes that improve customer outcomes and margins. 3 common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Tracking vanity metrics instead of outcomes. Counting social likes or tasks completed without linking them to customer experience wastes attention. Mistake 2. Measuring everything and learning nothing. An overload of metrics paralyzes decision-making. Focus narrows to what matters. Mistake 3. Failing to pair numbers with frontline insight. Numbers without context lead to wrong conclusions. Combine metrics with short notes from people on the ground. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Pick 3 predictive metrics tied to your promise. Choose simple indicators such as percentage of jobs completed on time, average downtime per week, and number of repeat fixes per job. Lesson 2. Use lightweight tools for collection. A shared notebook, a simple spreadsheet, or a short message form works. Consistency matters more than complexity. Lesson 3. Review small data sets regularly and act a short weekly review with the team produces faster learning than infrequent, long audits. Decide one small change, test, and measure again. How to apply Principle 5 on a shoestring. Step 1. Write a single hypothesis you want to test. For example, if we reduce time spent on minor repairs by storing common parts on the truck, our average downtime per job will fall. Step 2. Track one metric for a short period, record downtime minutes for 2 weeks, and compare before and after. Step 3. Pair metric tracking with a frontline note. Ask the operator to write one sentence when downtime occurs. What broke and why? These notes explain spikes and point to solutions. Comparison with other models versus big data fantasies. Large analytics systems make sense at scale but are expensive and slow for small operators. Small, tight metrics that are relevant and timely produce faster improvement for micro-enterprises. Versus intuition-only management. Intuition is valuable, but data turns intuition into testable actions. Small numbers plus frontline notes produce pragmatic experiments. Short vignette. A rental yard that improved utilization. A small equipment rental business tracked 3 numbers. Days rented per machine, per month, average repair time, and percent of idle machines needing parts. The owner discovered that a few commonly failing components reduced available days. Buying a small stock of parts improved utilization and revenue without large capital expense. Principle 6. Optimize for total cost of ownership rather than the lowest purchase price. Explanation. Caterpillar customers often choose machines with a higher upfront cost because lower downtime, easier maintenance, and longer life reduce expenses over years. Total cost of ownership includes purchase, fuel, maintenance, spare parts, downtime, and resale. For small businesses, thinking beyond the sticker price prevents repeated replacement, lost workdays, and surprise bills that drain cash. ITCO thinking matters for micro businesses. Small operators can be seduced by low upfront costs, but then suffer high repair bills and lost income from unreliable equipment. A slightly higher investment in reliability frequently pays back quickly by keeping machines operating and customers happy. 3 common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Buying the cheapest option without testing durability. A bargain machine may fail more often and cost several times its price in downtime. Mistake 2. Ignoring serviceability and parts availability. Some cheap machines use rare parts or obscure fasteners that are difficult to source, increasing repair time and cost. Mistake 3. Overlooking resale value and life cycle planning. Failing to consider how long a machine will be useful or its resale value leads to poor investment decisions. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Calculate the expected lifetime cost. Estimate fuel, routine maintenance, typical repair costs, and expected resale value. Even rough numbers help compare options. Lesson 2. Prioritize reliability in the components that affect uptime most. Pay more for durable hydraulics or a proven engine rather than non-critical add-ons like flashy cabs or premium paint. Lesson 3. Plan for resale and upgrade pathways. Choose equipment and attachments that hold value or are useful across jobs so you can upgrade incrementally. How to apply Principle 6 affordably. Step 1. Ask previous buyers and operators about real-world costs. Talk to local operators who have used the machine you consider. Their experience reveals hidden costs. Step 2. Factor downtime into your pricing model. If a cheap machine causes lost workdays, your per-job cost increases. Build realistic downtime estimates into your financial planning. Step 3. Choose common, easily sourced parts. Standardized components reduce repair lead time and often cost less, even when initial price is a little higher. Comparison with other purchasing approaches versus lowest bid procurement. Lowest bid strategies appear to save money short-term, but often shift costs into operations and lost revenue. TCO aligns purchasing with long-term value versus luxury buys without service plans. High-end machines sometimes come with weak local support. A modestly priced machine from a reliable local supplier with good service can beat a prestige brand with no parts network. Short vignette. A landscaper who learned TCO the hard way. A landscaper bought a very cheap mini excavator to save on capital. After a season of frequent breakdowns and long waits for parts, the machine sat idle more than it dug. The landscaper sold it at a steep loss and bought a better-known model with local parts availability. The second purchase cost more upfront, but returned to service faster and paid for itself in reduced downtime. Putting Principles 4 through 6 together, an integrated example. Imagine a small construction subcontractor promising compact site clearance in a week. Apply the 3 principles. Redundancy. Keep a spare critical consumable kit on site. Have an alternate local contractor for emergency pickup, and arrange for a neighbor's loader as a temporary replacement. Measurement. Track machine uptime as a daily metric. Log each repair event with a short frontline note and review weekly to find recurring failures. Casativo thinking. Choose equipment with parts available locally and factor expected downtime into bids. Price jobs to cover the real cost of keeping machines running. This package lowers the chance of missed deadlines and keeps reputations intact. Practical exercises you can do today. Exercise 1. Identify your top risk and one low-cost backup. Write the single thing most likely to stop your core promise, and name one cheap, diverse fallback. Exercise 2. Pick 3 simple metrics and start recording. Choose metrics tied to uptime and cost and track them daily for 2 weeks. Add a one-line note for each exception. Exercise 3. Perform a quick TCO sketch. Expected fuel, maintenance, and downtime costs for 2 machine options, and compare roughly which is cheaper over a typical season. Common questions and short answers. Question. I cannot afford spares. What then? Answer. Build social redundancy. Make reciprocal arrangements with neighbors or local shops, or use temporary manual workarounds that preserve the customer promise. Question. How many metrics should I track? Answer. Start with 3 focused metrics that predict your promise. More than that can overwhelm a tiny team. Question. How do I estimate downtime cost? Answer. Multiply the average daily revenue lost per idle day by a realistic guess of days per year the machine might be down. Even an approximate number guides better choices than none. Comparison roundup. Caterpillar. Approach versus 3 alternatives. Type 1. The cheap and replace model. This model buys the lowest cost item and replaces often. It can appear cheap, but hides high downtime cost and lost opportunity. Archetype 2. The platform suppliers model. Some firms rely on many external providers and expect market availability. At micro scale, deliberate local redundancy and trusted partners beat hope-based supply models. Archetype 3. The premium brand without local support. High-end products can fail at a distance if parts and service are not local. Local availability and predictable service often matter more than a global logo. Short vignette. A small rental yard that improved margins. A small equipment rental owner tracked uptime and found that older machines consumed significant service time. By retiring a few low utilization, high repair units, and buying slightly more expensive, commonly supported machines, the owner increased rentable days and profit margins. Wrap-up of Part 2: Designing for Redundancy, Measuring the Right Things, and Thinking in Terms of Total Cost of Ownership turn fragile setups into dependable services. These principles let small operators protect reputation, make smarter purchase decisions, and scale learning. Your next steps. Map single points of failure. Start tracking 3 simple metrics, and calculate a rough ownership cost before major purchases. Preview of Part 3. In the final part, we will explore lifecycle design, backward-compatible evolution, translating engineering into simple promises for customers, pricing strategies that reflect long-term value, and a compact workbook to pilot an idea from concept first customers. We will provide templates you can use immediately to plan redundancy, metrics, and pricing. If this part helped you, subscribe to my YouTube channel for Part 3 and downloadable templates, checklists for contingencies, a simple metric tracker, and a quick TCO worksheet. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the final workbook and step-by-step scripts you can use tomorrow. Part 3: Life Cycles, Promises, and Turning Reliability into a Sustainable Business. Imagine a client who chooses your service not just once, but month after month. Because your product keeps working, your upgrades never break their workflow, and every interaction reduces their worry. That steady, dependable relationship is the prize. In this final part, we cover the last 2 Caterpillar-inspired principles, translate engineering into simple promises customers understand, and evolve offerings while protecting customer investments, and then give a practical toolkit, a pilot workbook, exercises, and closing guidance you can use right away. Who this part is for? This section is for entrepreneurs, refining services, people who are unemployed or underemployed building steady micro-income, those on social support who want practical, low-risk ways to design durable offers. You have already learned to build a strong core, design for maintainability, create modular options, add redundancy, measure what matters, and think in total cost terms. Now we show how to make technical strength sellable and how to upgrade without losing customers. Overview of the final principles is part Principle 7. Translate engineering complexity into simple customer promises. Principle 8. Evolve offers without breaking customers' investments, preserve trust through backward-compatible change. Principle 7. Translate engineering complexity into simple customer promises. Explanation. Caterpillar machines include sophisticated engineering, load-sensing hydraulics, reinforced structures, telematics, and service networks. Customers rarely buy features. They buy outcomes, uptime, predictable costs, faster cycle times, safer sites. The skill is to take technical strengths and express them as clear, credible promises that matter to users. For small providers, this means turning behind-the-scenes investments into simple value statements that customers understand and pay for. Why this matters for small ventures. Many founders can build something technically solid, but then fail to explain why it matters. Customers decide emotionally and practically. A technical explanation becomes persuasive only when linked to everyday outcomes. Less downtime, faster turnaround, lower repair bills. Making that translation lets you charge appropriately, attract the right customers, and direct product development toward what really moves the needle. Common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Talking only about specs and jargon. Founders describe horsepower, torque, or API endpoints, while customers ask, "We always reduce my risk." Specs matter to some buyers, but most want outcomes phrased in their language. Mistake 2. Hiding engineering as mysterious magic. When companies present complexity as a black box, customers worry about support and lock-in. Opacity reduces trust. Mistake 3. Over-promising on technical advantages. Promising dramatic technical gains without operational proof leads to disappointed customers and damaged reputation. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Always state the customer outcome first. Start with the promise in plain language, then, if needed, add a brief explanation of why the product delivers it. For example, "We keep your machine running 80% more days each month because we stock common parts and train local technicians." Lesson 2. Use relatable analogies and simple metrics. Translate complex features to everyday terms. This sensor warns you before a hose fails, rather than it uses predictive maintenance algorithms. Use a small set of metrics customers care about. Uptime percentage, average repair time, or days between failures. Lesson 3. Demonstrate with evidence, not just claims. Show short before and after stories, a customer quote, or simple numbers from your pilot runs. Evidence builds credibility faster than marketing language. How to apply Principle 7 with limited resources. Step 1. Interview customers about their real pain. Ask, "What happens when this fails?" And "How would on-time service change your day?" Use those answers to craft your promise. Step 2. Write a one-line promise and a one-sentence explanation. Promise first. "We keep your tool ready for work." Explanation second. "We do that by stocking common spares and offering next business day swaps." Step 3. Create a one-page evidence sheet. Include one short story, one simple metric from your pilot, and a plain language FAQ that explains what you do and what you do not promise. Comparison with other approaches versus feature-first marketing. Feature lists attract technically minded buyers, but confuse most customers. Outcome-first promises cut through noise and speak to decision drivers. Versus secrecy and mystique. Hiding how things work makes customers anxious. Simple transparency, enough to show competence and accountability, builds trust. Short vignette, a rental yard that sold uptime, not horsepower. A small rental yard highlighted a metric in its listings, median days available per month, instead of engine model numbers. Contractors chose that yard because availability mattered more than raw specs. The yard used a one-sentence promise on its invoices and added a short testimonial about a saved job. Business grew as word spread among site managers. Principle 8. Evolve offers without breaking customers' investments. Explanation. Machines and services with long useful lives require careful change management. Caterpillar and experienced operators introduced telematics, attachments, or firmware updates in ways that respect existing workflows, tools, and parts inventories. For small providers, evolution should increase customer value while protecting what customers already own, know, and rely upon. Abrupt changes that force customers to relearn, repurchase, or discard tools destroy trust. Why this matters for small operators. Early customers are your collaborators and your advocates. If upgrades punish them, you lose credibility. Evolution that preserves compatibility and offers clear migration benefits turns customers into champions who help you grow. Common mistakes companies make. Mistake 1. Forcing immediate migration. Rolling out a new process or tool overnight without a transition plan frustrates customers and staff. Mistake 2. Adding features that disrupt core workflows. New additions that require customers to change habits often fail, even when well-designed. Mistake 3. Prioritizing new customers over legacy users. Focusing exclusively on new markets can abandon early adopters who proved your concept. Lessons learned and practical steps. Lesson 1. Map customer investments before changing anything. List the ways customers have invested time, money, or habit into using your product, saved contacts, preferred templates, physical attachments, or monthly schedules. Lesson 2. Design optionality and phased rollout. Offer new features as opt-in with clear guides and a transition window. Keep legacy workflows available while customers try the new option. Lesson 3. Reward early testers and preserve data. Give pilot customers incentives and make sure you preserve their data and preferences. Their feedback helps refine upgrades before broad release. How to apply Principle 8 on a tight budget. Step 1. Offer a dual-path rollout. Keep the old method operational and provide the new one as a choice. Use a small pilot group to gather feedback. Step 2. Make migration cheap and simple. Provide a one-click data transfer, a short how-to video, or a phone walkthrough for customers switching to the new system. Step 3. Communicate relentlessly. Tell customers what changes, why the change helps them, what remains the same, and how long the parallel period lasts. Clear communication reduces anxiety. Comparison with other evolution strategies versus disruptive rewrites. Large-scale rewrites can break loyalty for small providers. Incremental, customer-respecting evolution is safer and often faster to adopt, versus permanent beta and constant breaks. Frequent, unclear changes frustrate paying customers. Manage expectations and set a clear timeline for trials and releases. Short vignette. A parts supplier that upgraded carefully. A parts supplier introduced an online ordering portal, but kept phone orders available for 3 months. The supplier migrated frequent callers first, offered a short training call, and used their feedback to simplify the portal. Most customers switched. Those who did not were still served. The supplier avoided churn and gained better order accuracy. Final toolkit, practical plays to turn reliability into sustainable growth. Play 1. Sell through outcomes, not features. Always lead with the customer benefit. Use short evidence items, one customer story, one metric, to back your claim. Play 2. Offer a narrow guarantee tied to operations, a small, credible guarantee. A refund of the fee or a redo if you miss your promise. Signals confidence and disciplines operations. Play 3. Provide easy, low-cost migration paths for upgrades. Offer opt-in pilots, one-click data transfers, or simple training that lowers the switching cost for customers. Play 4. Reinvest early margins into the reliability loop. Use extra revenue from guaranteed tiers or subscriptions to fund spares, backups, and training. This closes the cycle that makes guarantees credible. Play 5. Convert evidence into marketing. Short before and after stories, a compact metric on your website, and a one-page PDF sendable in chats turn operational strength into acquisition tools. Workbook. Plan a pilot in 4 steps. Step 1. Define your promise in 1 sentence. Write the core promise customers will pay for and the basic conditions that must be true for you to keep it. Step 2. Map the customer journey and find the bottleneck. Sketch each step. Circle the single longest delay or most fragile handoff and design one change to fix it. Step 3. Add one low-cost redundancy and one visible queue. Pick a backup for that fragile step and decide to status messages you will send customers. Step 4. Price a pilot and measure 3 metrics. Set a simple pilot price and track 3 indicators tied to the promise, for example, on-time rate, downtime minutes, and customer satisfaction note. Run the pilot for a short period, gather feedback, and iterate. Practical exercises you can do this week. Exercise 1. Customer outcome interview. Call or message 5 potential customers and ask, what happens if this fails? Note real costs and use them to craft your promise and pricing. Exercise 2. Migration plan sketch. If you plan a new tool, write a short migration plan that keeps the old method for a transition period and offers help for early adopters. Exercise 3. Evidence card. Write one short customer story and one simple metric from your pilot. Use this 2-line card in your outreach and listings. Common questions and quick answers. Question. How customers are price sensitive? How can I sell reliability? Answer. Ask them about the cost of failure. Many buyers undervalue certainty until you translate missed promises into real costs. Offer a modest guaranteed tier to demonstrate value. Question. I cannot afford to stock spares or backups. What then? Answer. Build social redundancy. Swap small favors with neighbors, local shops, or mechanics. Informal agreements and small reciprocal arrangements protect uptime affordably. Question. How do I keep customers during upgrades? Answer. Communicate early, run opt-in pilots, and preserve data and workflows. Reward early testers and use their feedback to refine the rollout. Comparison roundup. Caterpillar. Thinking versus alternate mindsets. Archetype 1. Cheap and replace. This mindset buys minimal upfront and replaces when broken. It can seem cheap, but hides high total costs through downtime and lost reputation. Caterpillar thinking prioritizes lifetime value over sticker price. Archetype 2. Rapid disruptor. Some companies chase radical redesigns and expect customers to follow. For services where reliability matters, incremental, compatible evolution preserves trust. Archetype 3. Feature-first marketing. Feature-heavy launches can attract attention but disappoint customers if operations cannot deliver. Outcome-first messaging aligned with tested operations builds lasting business. Final vignette. A small contractor who turned uptime into an advantage. A sole proprietor landscaper began offering a weekend express service for urgent jobs. He priced it to include a small spare parts kit and a backup helper on call. He presented a one-line promise on his flyer. Weekend Express, we will be there by 9 a.m. or the job is free. The offer sounded bold, but the contractor had rehearsed his fallbacks and kept the promise for a month of pilots. Referrals followed, and the premium revenue funded the spares kit and a simple scheduling tool that made the service repeatable. Closing thoughts. From durable machines to durable ventures, Caterpillar hydraulic excavators teach a set of consistent lessons. Invest in a strong core, design for maintainability, enable modular growth, add purposeful redundancy, measure what matters, think in terms of total ownership, translate technical strength into customer-facing promises, and evolve without breaking trust. For people starting with limited capital or uncertain employment, these ideas are practical. They focus attention on the few structural choices that determine whether customers return. If you want downloadable templates, one-page promise sheet, a simple metric tracker, a contingency map, and a migration plan template. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share step-by-step workbooks and short scripts you can use immediately to pilot an idea and turn reliability into paying repeat customers. Hit subscribe and join the next session where we walk through a live pilot you can run in a single week.